Today we're going to be making a salt bar. We're making a eucalyptus and lemongrass salt bar from a recipe that I've used for a long time, inspired by a recipe I found at Brambleberry a very long time ago. So I like to get organized and weigh everything out ahead of time, like the salt, the fragrance, and any colorants and anything I'm going to use, just in case the fragrance oil decides to speed up my batter or I go to trace too fast, not because of the fragrance oil, lots of reasons. So I like to get everything out and all my ducks in a row, if you will. I do like my temps to be within 10 degrees of each other if possible. And this isn't a super small batch, but it is small enough that sometimes you have to tilt your container to get all the air out from underneath your stick blender, because that'll just introduce air into your batter if you don't do that. And then that's where sometimes you see the little air bubbles in soap when it's cut. So I don't particularly like those, so I try and avoid them if possible. So if I'm working with something that I like to move slowly, I'll just stick blend till emulsification. But when I'm using something like salt or an additive or something that I want thicker, I'll stick blend to like a medium trace. At least definitely a light to medium, but more so a medium trace. So to me, this is a medium trace. You can kind of see the batter when you swirl it around on top. It leaves like little lines of it sitting on top of your soap. That's just what I was checking there when I did those little swirly lines. That is my essential oil blend. And luckily, it does not speed up trace, so it makes it easy to work with. And I am not coloring this batter since I'm using the pink Himalayan salt. I think it adds a pretty natural color itself to the soap. And personally, I know, I'd pretty much dump it all in. It's a small enough batch that it's not going to be hard to work with and to work out all the air bubbles and the clumps, because you'll get clumps in there like that. And you just want to work them through. You'll end up mashing them sometimes to the side of the container. That's where clear or see-through containers can be your friend. And this is where going to like a light to medium trace is good as well, because it gives you time to work and to do that. If you were to go to a thicker trace, you would not have nearly enough time to work, and then you would be in trouble trying to hurry up and get it in the mold. So I've fallen in love with these little seashell silicone molds from Brambleberry. It's very easy to unmold with them. And I do recommend either using sodium lactate, salt, or a harder recipe as far as soap batter. Otherwise, they can stick in there when you're trying to demold the next day. And then I try and stir in between just to make sure that we're getting kind of an equal blend of batter and salt. If you don't know how much batter to ever make in order to fit a certain number of cavities, you can always put it on a scale and pour each cavity full of water, and then you'll know how much soap batter you'll need. Brambleberry has been kind enough to put on their website how much batter you need. Personally, I just was making a small batch, so that's why I only filled up 9 cavities. And I try and always have a little silicone mold on hand for any overflow. Those I use around my house and share with people, depending on the size. It's also great to have as a little tester, so you can test periodically how your soap is curing, what the lather is at certain stages of the curing process. That and waste not, want not. I hate throwing out batter if I don't have to. All right. Now we're going to just spray it with a little isopropyl alcohol, and we will leave them to rest. All right, so it's the next day. It's not even 24 hours. It's probably been about 16 to 18 hours. And I'm pulling them apart to see what stage they are on molding, and they seem to be ready. We'll pop it out and see what happens. If it's not ready, it will definitely tell you. It won't come out of the mold, or it'll be gooey when you try and pull away the edges. And these make a nice, kind of handful size bar. They make good soaps for guest bathrooms as well. But I just love salt bars. And again, I think the salt just adds a natural color. And I didn't use any mica or anything. So very beachy, like natural beachy. There you go. Very, very easy. Oh yeah, my little tree came out really cute too. Yep, there we go. Perfect. So it's a good little tester. So make sure to like this video, share, and subscribe if you want to see more upcoming content from me. I love making soap. I've been making soap for a very long time. I think they're perfect. Perfect little beach shells for summer or for whenever. So I'll see you on the next one.